Kong Day had been a prisoner for 6 months. The Vorn had taken him during a raid on the outer colonies. They expected him to break like the others. He never did. The detention station floated somewhere in deep space. Day did not know where. The Vorn never told their prisoners anything. They just watched them suffer and waited for them to beg. Day had seen many humans beg in his first weeks here. Some cried. Some screamed. Some went quiet and never spoke again. Day did none of these things. Every morning, he woke up in his small cell. The walls were cold metal. The light was always dim. The air smelled wrong, like chemicals and something rotten. He ignored all of it. He stretched his body. He exercised, push-ups, sit-ups, squats. He kept his muscles working. He kept his mind sharp. The alien prisoners in nearby cells watched him sometimes. They were different species from different worlds. Some had scales. Some had too many arms. Some had no eyes at all. They all looked at him the same way. Like he was a small animal. Like he was nothing, they called humans soft skins. They called them short-lived. They laughed at how weak humans looked compared to their own kind. Day let them laugh. He said nothing. He just watched and waited. In the cell block next to his, there was another human. Her name was Yuna. She was 28 years old and had been an engineer before the Vorn took her. She was smart. Smarter than anyone Day had ever met. She had stolen a small piece of technology from the guards and turned it into a communication device. Now, she could talk to Day through the walls. One night, her voice came through the tiny speaker she had hidden in his cell. Day, are you awake? Always, he said. The overseer has been watching you. Day did not move. He stared at the ceiling. I know. This is not good. When Tal watches someone, bad things follow. High Overseer Tal was the commander of the station. Day had seen him only twice. Tal was a Vorn, like most of the guards. 8 feet tall. Hard skin like armor. Eyes that looked at humans the way humans looked at insects. He was cruel. He enjoyed pain. And he was curious about things that did not make sense to him. A human who did not break did not make sense to him. Let him watch, Day said. You are not afraid? I am always afraid. But fear does not control me. I control it. Yuna was quiet for a moment. Then she said, Be careful, Day, please. The next day the guards came for him. 2 Vorn soldiers opened his cell. They did not speak. They just pointed their weapons at him and waited. Day stood up slowly. He did not fight. There was no point. Not yet. They took him through long hallways. Other prisoners watched from their cells. Day kept his head high. He walked like a free man, not a captive. Some of the aliens looked confused. Others looked almost impressed. They brought him to the observation deck. It was a large room with windows that showed the stars outside. Beautiful and cold. High Overseer Tal stood in the center, his massive arms folded across his chest. Leave us, Tal said to the guards. They left. The door closed. Day was alone with the Overseer. Tal walked around him slowly. His footsteps were heavy. The floor shook a little with each step. He studied Day like a scientist studying a strange bug. You are small, Tal said. His voice was deep and rough. Your bones are thin. Your skin tears easily. Your species lives for such a short time. And yet you do not beg. You do not cry. Why? Day looked up at him. Because I am human. Tal made a sound. It might have been a laugh. That is not an answer. It is the only answer I have. Tal stopped walking. He stood in front of Day, towering over him. I have broken thousands of prisoners. Soldiers, warriors, killers. They all break. But you sit in your cell and exercise. You eat the bad food we give you. You sleep. You wake up. You do it again. 6 months. No tears. No begging. I do not understand. Then you do not understand humans. Tal's eyes narrowed. For a moment, Day thought he would die right there. Then Tal smiled. It was not a nice smile. I have a proposal for you, human. There is a place on this station called the Pit. It is an arena. Prisoners fight there for the entertainment of my officers. The The fights are to the death. Day said nothing. No human has ever survived more than one match in the pit. Your kind dies quickly, but you interest me. So I offer you this. Fight in the pit, win, and I will give better food to all the human prisoners. Lose, and you die. Either way, I am entertained. Day thought about Yuna. He thought about the other humans on the station. Thin, weak, starving. They needed help. They needed hope. I will fight, he said. Tal's smile grew wider. Good. Your first match is tomorrow. Out. The guards took Day back to his cell. That night, Yuna's voice came through the speaker again. I heard what happened. Day, the pit is death. No human has ever, I know. Then why did you agree? Day closed his eyes. Because if I win, our people eat. And if I die standing. Humans do not kneel. Yuna did not answer for a long time. When she spoke again, her voice was quiet. Then win, Day win, and come back. I will try. The next day, they came for him again. This time, they took him down. Deep into the station, the air grew hotter. The sounds grew louder. He could hear screaming, cheering, the roar of a crowd. They stopped at a large metal gate. Beyond it, Day could see the arena. Sand covered the floor. Blood stained the walls. Thousands of aliens sat in the stands above, watching and waiting. The gate opened. Day stepped into the pit. The crowd roared. They were laughing. They were excited. They had come to watch a human die. Day looked up at them. Then he looked at the massive creature waiting for him in the center of the arena. It had 6 legs, sharp claws, and teeth the size of his fingers. He took a deep breath. He let the fear wash over him. Then he pushed it down and let the calm take over. The fight was about to begin. The creature charged at him. It was fast. Faster than anything that big should be. Its 6 legs moved like a machine, eating up the ground between them. The crowd screamed with joy. They knew what was coming. They had seen it before. The human would die in seconds. But Day did not run forward to meet it. He did not try to fight it head on. Instead, he moved to the side, quick and light. The creature rushed past him, its claws cutting through empty air. The crowd went quiet for a moment. Then they laughed. The human was running. The human was afraid. This was even more fun to watch. Day was not running. He was thinking. The creature turned and came at him again. This time, Day watched its legs. He counted the steps. He saw how it moved. The front legs were fast, but the back legs were slower. When it turned, there was a small moment when it lost balance. Just half a second. But half a second was enough. The creature attacked again. Day waited. At the last moment, he dropped low and rolled to the right. The creature tried to turn, but its legs tangled. It stumbled. Day was already moving. He grabbed a handful of sand and threw it into the creature's eyes. It screamed. Not from pain, from anger. It could not see. It swung its claws wildly, hitting nothing. Day circled behind it. He saw the soft spot where its legs connected to its body. No armor there, just flesh. He picked up a sharp rock from the ground. He did not hesitate. He drove the rock into the soft spot with all his strength. The creature screamed again, this time from pain. It tried to turn, but Day was already moving. He hit the same spot again. And again. Blood poured out, dark and thick. The creature fell. The arena went silent. Day stood over the body, breathing hard. His hands were covered in blood. His heart was pounding. But he was alive. For a long moment, no one moved. No one spoke. Then, slowly, the crowd began to make noise again. Not cheering. Something else. Confusion. Surprise. This was not supposed to happen. Humans were supposed to die. High Overseer Tal sat in his special seat above the arena. His face showed nothing, but his eyes were fixed on Day. Watching, thinking, they took Day back to his cell. That night, The human prisoners got better food. Not much better, but enough to matter. Enough to give them strength. Word spread through the station. A human had won in the pit. Some aliens did not believe it. Some laughed and said it was luck. But others began to watch Day differently. Not with respect, not yet. But with something close to curiosity. Yuna's voice came through the speaker that night. You did it. You actually did it? One fight, Day said. That is all. They will send something worse next time. And what will you do? The same thing. Watch. Learn. Adapt. That is what humans do. We survive. He was right about the fights getting harder. His second opponent was a warrior from a species called the Kel. It had 4 arms and skin like stone. It was smart. It did not charge blindly. It waited and watched, just like Day did. They circled each other for a long time. The crowd grew impatient. They wanted blood. They wanted death. The Kel attacked first. Its 4 arms came at Day from different angles. He could not block them all. One fist caught his shoulder. Pain exploded through his body. He fell back, barely keeping his feet. The Kel smiled. Small, human. Weak, human. I will break every bone in your body. Day did not answer. He kept moving. Kept watching. The Kel was strong, but it had a pattern. Left arm, right arm, then both lower arms together. The same pattern every time. The next attack came. Day was ready. He ducked under the left arm, stepped inside the right, and drove his elbow into the Kel's throat. The stone skin did not cover the throat. That was soft. The Kel choked. Its eyes went wide. Day hit it again. And again. He did not stop until it fell. 2 fights. 2 wins. The third opponent was faster. Day won by making it tired, then breaking its leg. The fourth opponent was bigger. Day won by leading it into a wall, then crushing its head with a fallen piece of metal. For fights. For wins, the human prisoners began to whisper his name. Kong Day, the one who would not die. The one who would not break. Other aliens began to whisper too. Not with respect, fear. This human was not normal. This human was dangerous. High Overseer Tall called a meeting with his officers. They sat in a dark room, far from the cells. Tal was angry. He had meant to kill the human quickly. Instead, he had created a symbol. This cannot continue, one officer said. The other prisoners are watching. They are starting to think resistance is possible, and we end it, Tal said. We send something the human cannot beat. What could beat him? He has killed 4 of our best arena fighters. Tal smiled his cold smile. Not our best. I have been saving those. It is time to use them, gave the order. Kong Day would fight again. But not against one opponent. Against 3. The 3 elite guards of the station. Rock, the Vorn warrior. Shal, the Keth assassin. Bren, the Mach enforcer. The deadliest fighters in the sector, each one had killed hundreds. Together, they had never lost. The announcement spread through the station like fire. Every prisoner heard it. Every guard knew what it meant. Why UNA reached Day that night. Her voice was shaking. Day, you cannot fight them. Not all 3. No one can beat all 3. I have to. Why? Let someone else fight. Let the aliens see you refuse. They will understand. Day was quiet for a moment. Then he said, if I refuse, they will know humans can be scared into stopping. Every human who comes after me will suffer because I was afraid. I cannot do that to them, but you will die. Maybe, but I will die showing them what a human is. I will die on my feet. And they will remember. Yuna was crying. He could hear it in her voice. I do not want you to die, Day. I do not want to die either. But some things are bigger than one person. Some things matter more than survival. The next day, the guards came early. The whole station was waiting. Aliens packed into the arena more than Day had ever seen. They had come from every part of the station. They wanted to watch the human die. The gate opened. Day walked into the pit. 3 figures stood in the center. Rock, 8 feet of muscle and armored bone. Shal, 4 arms moving like snakes, blades in each hand. Bren, silent and still, his body already healing from cuts he had given himself just to show his power. Day looked at them. They looked at him. High Overseer Tal stood in his seat. He raised one hand. The crowd went silent. "Let it begin," Tal said. The 3 elite guards moved forward. Day raised his fists and waited for death to come. Rock came first. The massive Vorn warrior did not wait for a signal. He did not study his enemy. He simply charged, his armored fist swinging down like a hammer from the sky. Day threw himself to the side. He felt the wind of the punch pass his face. The ground where he had been standing exploded. Cracks spread across the arena floor like lightning. Pieces of stone flew into the air. He barely had time to breathe before Shal attacked. The Keth assassin moved like water, flowing around Rock and coming at Day from the left. Her forearms struck at different angles, each one holding a curved blade. Day blocked one, dodged another. The third cut his arm. The fourth nearly took his head. He rolled backward, blood running down his arm. The crowd screamed with joy. First blood. The human was already hurt. Bren had not moved. The mock enforcer stood in the center of the arena, watching with empty eyes. He was patient. He knew he did not need to rush. His partners would weaken the human. Then he would finish the job. Day's mind was racing. 3 enemies. 3 different fighting styles. Rock was power. Shal was speed. Bren was endurance. Alone, any one of them would be a challenge. Together, they were impossible. But impossible was just a word. Day had learned long ago that words meant nothing. Only actions mattered. ROK attacked again. This time, Day did not just dodge. He moved toward the attack, sliding under Rock's arm and striking the back of his knee. His fist hit armor. Pain shot through his hand. But he saw Rock stumble, just a little. The knee joint. That was the weak point. The armor did not cover it completely. He filed that information away and kept moving. Shal was on him again. Her blades danced through the air, too fast to track. Day stopped trying to see them. He felt them instead. His body knew how to fight without his eyes. Years of training. Years of darkness. He moved by instinct, letting his muscles remember what his mind could not follow. One blade cut his leg. Another cut his chest. Shallow wounds. Painful, but not deadly. He kept moving. Keep moving, and you stay alive. Stop moving, and you die. The crowd was getting louder. They could see Day was hurt. They could smell his blood. They wanted more. ROK and Shal began to work together. Rock would attack from one direction, forcing Day to move. Then Shal would be waiting, her blades ready. It was a trap, repeated over and over. Each time, Day escaped by less. Each time, he lost more blood. His breath was getting short. His vision was starting to blur at the edges. A rib was cracked. Maybe 2. Every movement hurt, but he kept moving. Something strange was happening in his body. Something humans called the survival response. His heart pumped faster. His blood carried more oxygen. Chemicals flooded his brain, blocking the pain. His ancestors had developed this response over millions of years. It was what let humans hunt animals larger than themselves. It was what let humans survive when they should have died. Day felt the change wash over him. The pain faded. His mind cleared. Time seemed to slow down. He saw Rock coming at him from the right. He saw Shal moving in from the left. He saw the pattern. They expected him to retreat. They expected him to run backward into the wall, where he would be trapped. He did not retreat. Instead, he ran forward. Straight at Rock, the Vorn was surprised. No one ran toward him. No one was that stupid. At the last moment, Day dropped and slid between Rock's legs. Shal's blades, aimed at where Day should have been, struck Rock instead. 2 of them bounced off his armor. One found the gap at his knee. Black blood sprayed out. ROK roared in pain and anger. He spun around, his massive arms swinging. But Day was already gone, rolling to the side, putting distance between himself and both attackers. Xiao was frozen for a moment. She had hurt her own partner. In that moment of hesitation, Day acted. He grabbed a chunk of broken stone from the ground and threw it at her face. She deflected it easily, but she did not see the second chunk, already in his other hand. It hit her in the eye, she screamed. One of her 4 hands went to her face. Her attack pattern was broken. Day did not wait. He charged at her while she was hurt. She swung at him blindly. He ducked under the blades and drove his shoulder into her chest. She was lighter than she looked. She flew backward and crashed into a stone pillar. The pillar cracked. Not much, but enough. Day noticed Dotto OK was coming at him again, limping on his hurt leg, but still terrifyingly fast. Day ran, not away from Rock, toward the cracked pillar. He reached it just as Rock caught up. The Vorn swung his fist. Day jumped to the side. The fist hit the pillar instead. The whole thing shook. More cracks appeared. Dust fell from the ceiling. Day smiled. He had a plan now. He started leading Rock around the arena, staying close to the pillars. Every time Rock attacked, Day dodged. Every time Rock missed, his fist hit stone. The pillars were taking damage. The ceiling was groaning. Xiao was back on her feet, her face bloody, but her eyes full of rage. She rejoined the attack. Now both of them were chasing him. Bren still had not moved. He was watching, waiting. His time would come. The fight continued. Day was slowing down. His wounds were adding up. He could feel his strength fading, but he kept leading them to the pillars. He kept making them hit stone instead of flesh. Then it happened. Xiao moved in fast, all 4 arms swinging. Day ducked. Rock attacked at the same time, aiming to cut off Day's escape. There was nowhere to go except down. Day dropped flat to the ground. Rock's punch went over him and caught Xiao directly in the side. The impact was terrible. Day heard bones break. Xiao flew through the air and hit a damaged pillar at full force. The pillar collapsed. Xiao went down with it. Stone and metal buried her. One of her arms was sticking out of the rubble, still holding a blade. It was not moving. The arena went silent. 2 of the elite guards were down. Xiao was buried. Rock was bleeding badly from his knee, barely able to stand. Only Bren remained. The mock enforcer finally moved. He stepped forward slowly, his empty eyes fixed on Day. He did not look angry. He did not look worried. He looked like someone going to work. "You fight well, human," Bren said. His voice was flat and cold. "But you cannot kill me." "No one can kill me. I have been shot, stabbed, burned, and torn apart. I always heal. I always come back." Day stood on shaking legs. His body was screaming at him to stop, but he stayed standing. He looked at Bren and said nothing. Bren smiled. It was not a real smile. It was just his face moving. "Let me show you," he said. He picked up one of Shell's fallen blades. Then, without any change in his expression, he drove it into his own stomach. He pulled it out. Blood poured from the wound, and then, as Day watched, the wound closed. In seconds, there was nothing but smooth skin. "You see?" Bren said. "You cannot hurt me. You can only delay me, and I have all the time in the world." Day took a deep breath. His legs were shaking. His arms were heavy. He had almost nothing left, but almost nothing was not nothing. He raised his fists and waited for Bren to come. Bren attacked without warning. One moment he was standing still. The next moment his fist was crashing into Day's chest. Day flew backward. His feet left the ground. He hit the arena floor hard and rolled. Pain exploded through his body. He could not breathe. Something inside him was broken. More ribs. Maybe worse. Bren walked toward him slowly. "Stay down, human. It will be easier." Day pushed himself up. His arms shook. Blood dripped from his mouth. But he stood. Bren's head tilted to one side. Interesting. You know you cannot win, yet you stand. Why? Day coughed. More blood. Because that is what humans do. Bren attacked again. Day tried to dodge, but he was too slow. A fist caught his shoulder. He heard the bone crack. Another hit caught his side. He stumbled and fell. The crowd was going wild. This was what they wanted. The human on the ground, the human bleeding, the human dying. Day tried to stand again. His legs would not work. He fell back down. Bren stood over him. It is over. You fought well. Better than any human I have seen. But in the end, you are still just flesh and bone. And flesh and bone break. He raised his foot to crush Day's head. Day's hand found a rock. Small, sharp, not much of a weapon. But it was something. He did not aim for Bren's body. That would be useless. The mock would heal any wound. Instead, Day threw the rock at Bren's eyes. It hit. Bren's head snapped back. He roared in surprise and pain. His foot came down, but Day had already rolled away. The eyes. They healed slower than the rest of the body. Day had seen it when Bren stabbed himself. The stomach wound closed in seconds. But when Bren blinked, there was a moment of slowness. A moment of weakness. The brain needed the eyes. Even a healing body could not fight if it could not see. Day forced himself up. His shoulder was useless. His ribs were screaming, but his legs still worked. Barely, he ran toward the rubble where Shal had fallen. Bren was right behind him, blinking away blood, his vision clearing. He was fast. Faster than Day in his current state. Day reached the rubble and grabbed a piece of metal. Twisted and sharp. A makeshift blade. Bren caught up. His fist swung down. Day twisted to the side and drove the metal into Bren's eye. The mock screamed. Real pain this time. Deep pain. He stumbled backward, clawing at his face. Blood poured between his fingers. Day did not stop. He grabbed another piece of metal and drove it into Bren's other eye. Bren fell to his knees. He was blind now. His healing was working. The wounds were closing. But it would take time. Seconds. Maybe more. Day did not have seconds. He did not have more. He had now. He looked around. The damaged pillars. The cracked ceiling. The rubble from Shal's fall. A plan formed in his broken mind. He grabbed the largest piece of debris he could lift with one arm. Heavy, so heavy. His body screamed at him to drop it. He did not drop it. He ran at Bren. The blind mock heard him coming. He swung his arms wildly, trying to catch Day. But Day was not attacking him. He was running past him, toward the most damaged pillar. He threw the debris at the base of the pillar with everything he had left. The pillar cracked. Then it broke. Then it fell. The ceiling above came with it. Day threw himself to the side as tons of metal and stone crashed down. The noise was deafening. Dust filled the air. The ground shook. When the dust cleared, Bren was buried. Completely covered. Nothing visible. Just a mountain of rubble where he had been standing. The arena was silent. Day lay on the ground, barely conscious. His body was broken. He could not move. He could barely think, but he was still awake. Still aware, he heard a sound, grinding, shifting. The rubble was moving. Bren was digging himself out. His healing was working. He was still alive. He would be free in moments. Day knew he should stay down. He knew his body had nothing left. Standing up would kill him. Fighting more would kill him. Every part of him wanted to close his eyes and let it end. But somewhere deep inside, something refused. It was the part of him that had survived the Vorn raid. The part that had survived 6 months of prison. The part that had won 4 fights in the pit when everyone said he would die. It was the part that made him human. Day stood up. His legs were shaking so badly, he could barely stay upright. His broken arm hung useless at his side. Blood covered his face, making it hard to see. Every breath felt like knives in his chest. But he stood. He walked toward the rubble, slow, painful, each step taking everything he had. Bren's head was emerging. His eyes were healed now. He saw day coming. He tried to pull himself free, but the weight on his body was too much. He was trapped from the neck down. No, Bren said. His voice was different now. There was fear in it. No, stay back. I will heal. I will get free. You cannot. Day picked up a shard of metal from the ground. Long and sharp, almost like a sword. Your body heals, Day said. His voice was barely a whisper. But your brain does not grow back. Bren's eyes went wide. Wait. You cannot. Day drove the metal through Bren's skull. The mock's body jerked once. Then it went still. Day stood there for a long moment. The metal was still in his hand. Bren was dead. Really dead. Not coming back. He turned to face the crowd. Thousands of aliens stared down at him, silent. Shocked, they had come to watch a human die. Instead, they had watched a human kill 3 of the deadliest warriors in the station. Day looked up at High Overseer Tal's seat. The Vorn commander was standing. His face showed nothing, but Day could see it in his eyes. Fear. Just a little. Just enough. Day did not say anything. He did not need to. His body said it all. Broken, but standing. Bleeding, but alive. 1 human against 3 elite killers. The human one, ROK, was groaning somewhere behind him, still alive but unable to fight. Shao was buried, and still. Bren was dead. Day dropped the metal shard. His legs finally gave out. He fell to his knees in the sand. The arena was still silent. No one knew what to do. No one knew what to say. Then a sound began. Soft at first, then louder. The prisoners in the lower sections were hitting their hands against the barriers. A rhythm, beat, not cheering. Something deeper. Something older, a salute, more joined in. Aliens from dozens of species. Prisoners who had been enemies. Prisoners who had looked at humans with contempt. Now they were all making the same sound. The same beat. For the human who would not die. For the human who would not kneel. Day heard the sound. He lifted his head. Blood was still running down his face. His body was destroyed. But somewhere inside, he smiled. Then everything went black, and he collapsed into the sand. Day woke up in a medical room. The lights were bright, too bright. He closed his eyes and groaned. Oh, easy. Yuna's voice. Close. Worried. Do not move too much. You almost died. He opened his eyes again, slower this time. Yuna was sitting next to him. Her face was tired, and her eyes were red, but she was smiling.
How long?
He asked. His voice was rough and weak. The Vorn doctors put you back together. I do not know why. Maybe they want to keep you alive for more fights. Day tried to laugh, but it hurt too much. I do not think I can fight again. You will not have to. Not for a while. Something has changed. She helped him sit up. His body was wrapped in bandages. Machines beeped around him, but he was alive. That was more than he expected. The prisoners are different now, Yuna said. After what you did, they look at humans differently. They ask questions. They want to know about Earth, about our history, about our wars. Our wars? They are fascinated. They did not know humans fight each other. They did not know about our weapons, our tactics, our will to survive. They thought we were soft. Now they know the truth. Day looked at her. What truth? Yuna's smile grew wider. That humans are the most dangerous thing in the galaxy. We just hide it well. In the days that followed, Day recovered slowly. His bones healed. His wounds closed. The Vorn medicine was good, better than anything on Earth, but the scars remained. He would carry them forever. High Overseer Tal did not come to see him. But Day knew the Vorn was watching. Always watching. Things on the station were changing. The other prisoners no longer avoided the humans. Instead, they sought them out. They sat with them at meals. They asked questions. They listened. The humans told them stories. Stories of Earth, stories of survival. Stories of all the times humanity should have died but did not. The ice ages, the plagues, the wars that killed millions. And still, humans kept going. Still, humans rebuilt. Still, humans grew stronger. The aliens listened. Some did not believe, but many did. They had seen what one human could do. Now they wondered what all of them could do. Tal noticed the change. His guards reported that prisoners were talking more, organizing more. The fear that had kept them quiet was fading. Something else was taking its place. Hope. Tal hated hope. Hope was dangerous. Hope made prisoners think they could win. Hope made them fight back. He thought about killing Day. It would be easy. A quiet death in the night. No more symbol. No more hope. But then he remembered the arena. He remembered the thousands of prisoners watching. He remembered the sound they made when Day fell. That rhythm. That salute. If he killed Day now, he would not destroy hope. He would create something worse. A martyr, a legend. The human who beat 3 elite guards and was murdered for it. Tal was cruel, but he was not stupid. He let Day live. Weeks passed. Then months. Day healed completely. He started training again, alone in his cell. The other humans did the same. They were getting stronger. Getting ready, Yuna was working on something too. Something secret. She had been building a device since the day she arrived. Piece by piece. Stolen parts. Hidden work. A transmitter. A signal. One night, she told Day the truth. I have been sending a message. Every night for the past 8 months. A signal. Our location. Our situation. Everything. Day stared at her. A message to who? Earth. The fleet. Anyone who can hear? How do you know anyone received it? Yuna smiled. 3 weeks ago, I got a reply. Day's heart stopped. What did it say? 2 words. Coming soon. They kept the secret. They told no one. They waited. 6 months after the arena fight had happened, the alarms started in the middle of the night. Loud and angry. Red lights flashed everywhere. Guards ran through the hallways, shouting orders. Something was wrong. Something was very wrong. Day heard the explosions first. Then he felt them. The whole station shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. The lights flickered. Yuna's voice came through the speaker. Day, it is time. They are here. Who is here? The fleet. The human fleet. They found us. The battle was short. The Vorn were strong, but they had never faced human warships before. They did not understand human tactics. They did not understand human weapons. They did not understand that humans had been fighting each other for thousands of years and had gotten very, very good at it. The station's defenses fell in ours. Human soldiers poured through the docking bays, armed and armored and ready. They freed the prisoners. They captured the guards. They took control of everything. High Overseer Tal tried to run. He made it to his personal ship before a human squad found him. He fought back. He killed 2 soldiers before they brought him down. He did not die. The humans wanted him alive. They wanted him to see what happened next. They brought him to the main hall. All the prisoners were there. Humans and aliens together. They watched as Tal was forced to his knees in front of them. Day walked forward. He was not wearing bandages anymore. He was wearing a uniform. A human military uniform. His rank was displayed on his shoulder. Tal looked up at him. Hate burned in his eyes. You think you have one? You have won nothing. The Empire will send more ships, more soldiers. They will destroy your world and everything on it. Day looked down at him. His face was calm. Maybe, but I do not think so. Why not? Because now they know what humans are. Now they know that we do not break. We do not kneel. We do not stop. You taught them that, Tal. You put me in that arena. You showed the whole galaxy what one human can do. Tal said nothing. Day continued. The aliens on this station will go home. They will tell their people what they saw. They will tell them about the human who killed 3 elite guards. They will tell them about the human fleet that came to save its people. And their people will think very carefully before they attack Earth again. The aliens in the hall were nodding. Some of them were looking at the humans with something new in their eyes. Not fear, not contempt. Respect Tal was taken away. The humans would deal with him later. The celebration lasted for hours. Humans and aliens together, eating, talking, laughing, for the first time in years. The prisoners were free. Late that night, Day stood on the bridge of the lead human warship. The stars stretched out before him, endless and cold and beautiful. The station was behind them now. A bad memory getting smaller. Una joined him. She stood beside him, looking out at the same stars. "What are you thinking?" she asked. Day was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. It was a tired smile. A scarred smile. But it was real. "I am thinking that they picked the wrong species to fight. I am thinking that they looked at us and saw small bodies and short lives and soft skin. They saw weakness. They did not see what was underneath and what is underneath." Day turned to look at her. His eyes were calm and sure. 10,000 years of survival, 1,000,000 years of evolution, every war, every plague, every disaster that should have killed us. We survived all of it. We adapted. We grew. We became something that does not give up. Something that does not stop. Something that looks at impossible odds and says, "I will try anyway." He looked back at the stars. "They should have studied us before they picked this fight." Una laughed. It was a good sound. A hopeful sound. Behind them, the human fleet turned toward home. Hundreds of ships, carrying thousands of people, heading back to Earth. But they would not stay home for long. There was a galaxy out there. A galaxy full of empires and dangers and challenges. A galaxy that had looked at humanity and seen prey. Now they knew the truth. Humans were not prey. Humans were something else entirely, and the galaxy would never forget it.